Rah! This is Geeks Assembled, and we have a nuclear powered kaiju to talk about. Welcome to our podcast, Geeks Assembled's podcast on Godzilla Minus One. This is a really amazing story, and I just wanted you to know how much it means to those of us around who really uh love Godzilla. All right. So anyway, here we are, Lee and I, and Lee has brought his own fire today. He seems to be having a fever,
Yeah.
poor dear. And let's see. So we are in the midst of a weekend podcasting about this. This was made by Toho, and it's basically it's kind of an origin story in a way. Kind of
Mm.
like it's kind of like a this is how this connects to this story actually. So that's where it's at. What did you think of Godzilla Minus One, Lee?
um, I enjoyed it. It was a long movie, just over 2 hours long. I would have liked to have had more Godzilla action in this. There was a lot of talking at the beginning. Um, I can understand with the main character being a kamikaze pilot who sort of didn't want to die. But everybody looks on him like a coward because if you're a kamikaze pilot, you die.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was a good insight, because when he went back to his parents' home, he was sort of shunned by the neighbours, and you should have been dead. Um,
Yeah,
um,
it was rough.
it was rough, but that was the way the Japanese worked with the
Uh-huh.
kamikaze. Um, and then he took the woman in with the young kid. Sort of tried to make a family with those two. So it was a bit of talking here, a lot of bit of talking. But once Godzilla did re-emerge from the depths, you could feel the threat. It was.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand the scientific trap with the pulling him down into the sea. I didn't quite understand what that was all about.
Well, apparently argon is heavier than water.
Oh.
So if they surrounded him with argon coming out of those canisters, that part of the water would sink,
Uh-huh.
and it wouldn't stop sinking because it never would it never would be lighter than water any depth. I
So,
mean, I guess that's what they were thinking.
but then why let him up again?
I don't know. And wouldn't you think that I think that they were trying to explode his veins?
Oh, like the bend. What you get is it the bends?
Exactly.
Uh,
Like the
it was a bit.
nitrogen explodes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this nuclear powered kaiju necessarily can get the bends.
Well, no, because they don't really know what they're dealing with.
Nope.
But yeah, I can see why this was quite a success and got quite a few awards
Yeah.
last year. It was, I mean, a Godzilla movie comes around once every, I don't know, 5, 6 years. Hollywood do them now, don't they? And Uh, they're not. They haven't got the feel of the originals from Japan.
right?
You it was quite easy to follow. I mean, I watched the dub version,
Hmm.
so it was quite easy to follow the dialogue.
Yeah.
Because if it was subtitled, I'd have been lost.
Mm,
Because if I'm watching subtitles, I'm not watching the what's happening on the screen.
right.
Uh, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was action all the way, and just see the insight into the way of the how the Japanese worked at the end of the Second World War.
Yeah.
You know, it was an interesting because there was all living in derelict shanty towns after the destruction. Um, so they couldn't get any, couldn't get any lower in the gutter as they were. I think is this why it's called minus one?
I don't actually know why it's called Godzilla Minus One. I think it was because Godzilla One is called Godzilla One, and that's from the 70s.
Right.
I think it's a time. It's it's something that tells the chronology, but I may be wrong. I mean, not
Yes.
100% sure.
Yeah. It was say it wasn't really explained why it was minus one, but you forget about the title when you're watching it anyway.
Right.
So yeah, it was an enjoyable movie. So back to you, Susan.
Yeah. So, yeah, I liked the character of Koichi Shikishima because he was I there's another movie about a kamikaze pilot that never actually got to fly.
Uh,
It wasn't that he didn't die. He just said they didn't have any planes left for him. They had the one that he was training in, and that was it. And the thing was broke down, and so he never made it out to fly it, and that was called the Empire of the Sun, and it was a movie with Paul McGann in it, and you know, uh, what's his name? Um, Christian Bale plays the kid who befriends that pilot. Anyway, that was back when Christian Bale was a little boy.
mm,
I mean, if that tells you how long ago that was for. And the other thing that was really amazing was the way um that they had they were trying to egg Godzilla on.
mm.
They they attacked him with these ships, and then they also attacked him from the air, with Shikishima's little airplane, and then how much they wanted this guy Tachibana to be like the mechanic. And I think that was really fun. Was they were like, no, we got to get this guy back. That was kind
Mm.
of like, let's. It was like a Blues Brothers kind of feel thing, getting the band back together. Anyway, like I like that. I like that a lot, and I got a lot of respect for folks like that. My father-in-law, basically, he was a mechanic, an airplane mechanic in the Vietnam War. So and let's see, I mean, it was a good story. It talked about the radiation a little bit, but it didn't like dwell there. So that was an interesting shift because a lot of what you tend to have with Godzilla movies now is all this radiation talk. But this one was pretty, especially the movie or the TV show Monarch is all about these radiation pockets.
Yeah.
But this one was more about, you know, that he had a heat ray. They called it a heat ray. They didn't say that he was radioactive. And I liked the monster. The monster looked great. He was perfect. He was
Yeah, I mean, especially when he's heat ray loaded up with the up his back,
yeah, those dorsal fins or whatever.
bright
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. And the noise that it made it like humming and stuff. Yeah,
It
that was also.
was like the energy building up, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite moments or things that you liked or
I did like the when they had the fleet of ships sort of circling him with the gas or whatever it was,
uh-huh.
um, and he finally does the kamikaze thing with the plane and the bomb. It's straight into his mouth.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the what one area was when he's Godzilla's. Is it Hong Kong? Can't remember where. Is it Tokyo?
It's a Japanese bay.
It's a Japanese bay, but where he comes and destroys
Yeah.
most of the city, and you can't nobody can stop him.
Yeah.
A great action sequence there. Um, well, they say that's the scene where he thinks he's lost the young woman.
Yeah. Oh.
Um, great scene. And then there's the scene at the end where there's that piece of Godzilla's sinking down into the depths, but there's something bubbling there.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what that is.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Godzilla Junior?
Uh,
But yeah, it was an enjoyable movie. So it was set in a time period when most of these new Godzilla movies nowadays are set in the present day.
right, right. So
So this is 1946, the end of the war. It was nice to have a bit of a change there. So yeah, it was a good movie. What about you, Susan? Any?
no, I liked the yeah, the when they're building their family and Hiroshima doesn't really want to he doesn't he I don't know if he can or he can't have kids or something or whatever, and he's worried about that and stuff. And then this little boy becomes part of their family. Thought that was really amazing and sweet and um the the other part that was really amazing was that the looking at Godzilla as he's sinking to the depths and watching like uh all of his energy, his radiance just leave. I thought that was really cool because I mean you kind of get the idea though from all the old movies that once Godzilla is empowered, like there's nothing that's going to stop him.
Yeah, I was just wondering, was the way they used to make the old Godzilla movies? It was a man in a rubber suit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, was this a man in a suit for some scenes?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, maybe on some close-up shots or whatever, but because I
Yeah,
can't see the Japanese changing things like that.
yeah.
There are
And
some.
I love how his head was like instead of just roaring like right at you, he would roar up in the air. Like that was
Yeah.
fun. It was there was a lot of really cool things about that monster, the way that they made him. And I just think that this was a really good Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Also because he's not fighting another monster for control or whatever or for
Yeah.
survival. He's just fighting humanity. So I mean like that was pretty nifty. And yeah, it was an Oscar winner, so I think that a lot of people thought that this one was a lot better than a lot of the other ones.
Uh-huh.
And there's just a lot of kudos to this team that built that went from this one. And this one isn't, I don't know if it's the same team as before. I don't know. I mean there's some things that I guess I would have to look up a lot. Like look at each writer and each director and stuff. But yeah, they tend to make these they're now like pairing them with King Kong pretty much exclusively. They used to add other monsters to it, like Gigan, like Medora, like um oh, what's the butterfly one?
Mothra.
Mothra. Yeah. And they would always have those would be sort of ones that Godzilla would end up fighting. But this one, Gigan's another one, the one from outer space. And this one, they just it didn't have to be paired with somebody else. So that was fun.
Maybe the sequel.
Mm. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, you don't. And anyway, I think the is a Toho knows how to make these. I mean, this one was amazing. And if the things can circle back to like the original thought
Uh-huh.
and have sort of that grand scheme showing up, that's really cool. Yeah. So anyway, that's my say. And so do you have anything else?
Um, no, as I say, I enjoyed it because I didn't know what I was going to sit down and watch. Um, I heard it won on awards and Oscars and stuff like that. So I thought, right,
Yeah.
we'll give it a go. And I did enjoy it. I thought there was a little bit too much talking here and there.
Hmm.
When there could have been a little bit more action. But when the action starts up again, it draws you in. Yeah, I liked it. It was a good movie.
So what's your final say and score?
Uh, just because of the a little bit of the talking too much. Uh, I'll give it 8.5 Titans out of 10.
Huh. Okay. And that's a good score. And I'll
Just
give this, yeah, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. Dorsal fins activating. I think that was just, yeah, I really liked that partly too. I
yeah.
thought that was really fun. And I think that we had a chance to see a really good version of something that's been done a lot of different ways. And this
Mm.
one won so many awards, and it was just that's awesome. So yeah, let's I mean we could do other Godzilla movies like, you know, later on in this podcast series that we're due. So more kaiju anyway. Uh so for all of that, I'd like to thank Lee for watching it with me.
Pleasure.
Please do join us if you'd like to discuss Godzilla movies. It's easy to do it. You just have to have a camera, microphone, be over 18, and have a device and Zoom. Um, and we'd like you to join us on social media, probably where you watch this anyway. And if you're watching it on YouTube, like and hit the like button or the dislike button, whatever,
Whatever.
or
Yeah, whatever.
comment. Just let the algorithm hear about us, please. And then hit the subscribe and the bell notification. And then also, yeah, so then you'll know that when we turn out movies and TV and audio reviews for your perusal. And yeah, so thanks and feel better, Lee. I could tell you're not feeling very good.
Oh, I'm dying here.
I'm so sorry, man.
I don't know. Almost will be better for next week. So
Okay. It's a plan. I just,
yeah, I'll plan ahead.
yeah, drink lots of fluids and get lots of rest.
Yeah.